What's going on, guys? Monday night. It's time for the Goatlocker Retro Cup Series presented by Valvoline. Man, woo! I am excited about tonight. I got the caffeine, I got the sugar flowing, I got a cocktail of just a mess going on. So I don't know what we're gonna get tonight. Probably gonna be all over the place. Probably speaking a different language. Who knows? But tonight we are at Darlington, South Carolina. For an amazing race tonight. 32 drivers tonight on this track in these cars. It's going to be a blast. So, cannot wait to get this one going. Got a lot of guys in chat already. Got some guys who couldn't make the race. Hey, we're missing you for sure. But hey, hopefully we put on a good show that you're able to watch and enjoy. And we are in qualifying now. So, can't wait to get this going. Cannot wait to see what these guys are going to do tonight. So we let that play a little bit in the background. Tonight, we're actually going to go ahead and cut this off. And bring up the name of the race, all the information for tonight. We're going to call it the Nick Moss 100 tonight. 75 laps at Darlington Raceway at Darlington, South Carolina. Who is Nick Moss? Nick Moss is our own Mickey Isaacs friend who passed away the other night, or a couple weeks ago. I don't know 100% on the timetable, but passed away, and we just want to honor him, being that he's a good friend of Mickey Isaacs, and just try to remember him tonight. We're gonna keep it fun. We're gonna keep it light. But we just want to put his name out there and just give good vibes towards his family, his friends, and those who are missing him. So that's what we're about here. We're about family, taking care of each other. And so the Nick Moss 100 tonight. Let's see where we're at. We are at Darlington Raceway, the Lady in Black, the track that's too tough to tame. Y'all all know it. You know everything about it. I don't have to tell you anything. A 1.366 mile oval straight out of Satan's Behind. Banking, yep, it's got it. Track record 184 miles an hour set by Eric Amarola. And then most wins, of course, David Pearson with 10. So lots of history at Darlington. Darlington is one of those races that you want to win. You look at the calendar, you look at the schedule, which we're going to do right now, actually. And we see we're 3 races in, Darlington on the schedule. That's one you're going to have circled. You're going to have a little circle. If I was John Madden, I would draw you a circle around Darlington and say, that's where I want to win. And the next coming races, man, they're all fantastic. Atlanta is going to put on a great show. Going to be tough to pass at Atlanta. You think, oh, that's plenty of room. These cars are really, really tough. So it'll be interesting to see how Atlanta goes. Bristol, I have no idea what to expect out of Bristol. It's going to be 100 laps of mayhem. 100 laps, not that many. I think it was supposed to be 150 laps, but I think we're putting a little, showing a little grace, a little taking care of these guys. 100 laps in these cars at Bristol may be tough. So then we'll head to Charlotte, Pocono, and Dover to finish the first half of the season. So we're only 3 races in, and I'll tell you what, last 2 weeks we've had full fields, 43 drivers. This week, we're just running a small field tonight. It's just not that many drivers at all. Just 32 drivers at Darlington in the 87 cars. So, man, I tell you what, it's going to be a blast tonight. I think they're going to put on a good show. Darlington, as somebody brought up, I think it's Matt Telder. You spin down to the inside. iRacing doesn't like to give out cautions, so if self spins, you got to be careful tonight. You don't want you don't want to let that get you self spin down, thinking you're going to get a caution, and you don't. So, hey, that's good. We don't want no cautions. We want as little caution. I think we set a record last week for cautions with 16 or 17, and we don't want to do any of that this week. We want as much green flag races as we can get because this track is definitely going to separate the men from the boys. So. But let's go ahead and get everything up on the screen, and we'll look at qualifying, a little bit of spoilers. And tonight, you can see, no surprise, Ronnie Osborne on the front row as it stands, and we'll wait. And we're not going to wait any longer because it is done. So let's go ahead and pull up the grid, and let's go through it real quick. Got a lot of drivers to go through. Ronnie Osborne starting on pole. He is our Chuck Peg Leg Pole Award winner. So congratulations to Ronnie Osborne. Outside front row is Andy Kurtz. Jonah Colbert starting third. Patrick Dravik starting fourth. Starting fifth, Jared Reed. Dakota Camper starting sixth. Kevin Anderson starting seventh. Glad to see him. Daniel Cunningham starting eighth. Keith Taylor starting ninth. Steve Loving rounding out the top 10. Travis Beaver starting 11th. Starting 12th, Cindy Taylor. Starting 13th, Mickey Isaac. Starting 14th, Stephen Gibson. George Fernandez starting 15th. Starting 16th, Sean Stevens. Tyler Rice starting 17th. 18th, Justin Wickoff. Starting 19th is Chris Reese. 20th, Mike Steffen. Let's move a little bit quicker as we want to get some stuff going on. Matt Telder, 21st. Jesse Necula, 22nd. Brandon Pollock, 23rd. Charles Stevens Jr., 24th. Jason Lottridge, 25th. 26th, Alex Veith. Josh Oswald, 27th. Vernon Reese, 28th. Henry Garardini starting 29th. 30th, Kyle Roberts. Brandon Wallace starting 31st. And Dave Jones starting 32nd. All right, I am back. Sorry about that. Just had to take care of some administration work, but we are getting ready to go green. We're going to have a couple laps as we get some EOL sorted out for last week's race. Trying to make sure that we get everybody understanding how we're going to race here, and I think everybody's going to catch on really quick. So that's what we do here, just trying to keep the racing clean, make sure that we respect each other, take care of each other. That way, man, we can have fun racing. Guys show up every week, want to have a good time. We don't want to run around under caution, so we're gonna try to clean it up, make sure that the race is fun for everybody. I want to shout out everybody in chat. Mike Hasty missed the race tonight, stuck working late, man. I understand. I hear you. Justin Lumpkin said he had to work as well, so hate that we're missing you. And then, of course, like I said, there's three things in life you can always bank on, and that's death, taxes, and Kevin Kinder in chat, man. So we're glad to see you. I don't want to hear no net code in chat, though. Anytime I see the word net code in chat, you are getting kicked out. So, Kevin Kinder, don't slip up tonight. Don't slip up. I heard about what you were saying the other night. I don't want to hear it. So, but we got the one to green, and we're going to get going, and hopefully we get to see some good action tonight, and I believe we will. I think guys are going to settle down. The excitement of the season starting has kind of faded off, and hopefully guys are going to give plenty of room and be good to each other, and we can put on a great show. So coming around, pace car going to dive off. Kevin Kidner, I'm just kidding, man. You can talk trash all you want to. I live for that. Pace car is off. Ronnie Osborne going to lead us down to green. Andy Kurtz on the outside, and you'll see that DuPont number 31 of Jonah Colbert right behind him, and Patrick Dravik on the outside. Green flag is out. Ronnie Osborne gets a great jump. Patrick Dravik all over the back end of Andy Kurtz. Let's see if they're able to make it through turn one without much issue. Guys doing a great job so far of giving plenty of room. Let's try to back it up a little bit, see if we can see what's going on through the field. Jesse Necula is crashing. We have a crash already. Let's go back here and let's try to see what happened. Is STK's a little bit behind. You'll see him in that purple car. Yeah, just Yeah, that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid guys who are just taking it easy on the start. And Jesse is a fantastic racer, so I know he wasn't trying to run over it, but it looks like the 24 just kind of not going on the start, and had to check everybody up. So that's what happens, unfortunately. So we are under caution already. And I tell you what, let's go. Let's go. Let's take our first commercial, and I will be right back.
Every time you hear your furnace start up, it's costing you money. Want to save money for a change? Then call your insulation contractor and insulate safely with CertainTeed InsulSafe. It's non-combustible, pure white fiberglass that may help lower your fuel bills all year long. So stop listening to your money and start saving it. Ask your insulation contractor for CertainTeed InsulSafe.
Well, all right. So under our first caution, like I said, a couple guys just didn't get going, and kind of stacked up the field, and so we're under our first caution. Yeah, Kevin, old Garrett Kinder, and Garrett Kinder and William Griffith, they decided they did me a favor. They could tell I was struggling trying to do the broadcasting and everything, and decided to step up, man, and do race control for us tonight. So they are taking care of all the EOLs and whatnot. So, man, just a hell of a job by them. Thank them. You know, they normally race and they are up here battling for wins, and they decided to step out for the good of the series and help try to clean this up for us. And so I can't say how much I appreciate them. So I know you got like to have the 13 in the field to cheer on, and I hope that once we get everything settled out here, we're able to get him back on the track. So, but we are doubled up, getting ready for this restart. Ratchet Miller's in the chat. What's going on? Glad to see you in the chat as we are getting ready to go green. Ronnie Osborne still with the lead. Hadn't had but maybe 1 or 2 laps of green flag racing. I'm going to trust you guys to let me know if the volume is good. No, that ain't true. Y'all ain't here for me. Y'all here for these drivers on this track. These badass son of a guns that's about to take the green flag right here. Ronnie Osborne with a great start. Gets a good jump on Andy Kurtz back here for third. You're going to see a nice little battle here as the field starts to try to. Hey, you have to at Darlington. You really, really have to get single file quick. You don't have a whole lot of time to run side by side. Especially in these cars, you need all of the track to use it. So we're going to see a lot of pancakes. I should have done a pancake award. Should have done like a Bisquick pancake award or something tonight, but because I would imagine a lot of guys are going to clap the wall a few times off of each corner as these cars start to lose the tires. Now, I've heard that they can almost go all the way on fuel, but I can guarantee you they will not go all the way on tires. After 10 laps, some guys reporting already in the low 80s on the right side. So we're going to see, man, guys are going to have to be careful. You're going to have to manage how fast am I going to go, how much tire am I going to save, and because you don't want to blow a tire. That's bad news bears, and it will not end well. So. But let's go back through the field. We've got a nice little healthy start. Man, I love it. Love to see what these race control are doing. Cleaning this field up is Patrick Dravik, the fastest car on the track. He's trying to find his way around Andy Curl. Ronnie Osborne gets into the wall a little bit. Going to come back up in front of second place of Andy Kurtz. Andy Kurtz does a great job along with Patrick Dravik of backing off and letting him get back going. As looks like Cindy Taylor and Kevin Anderson in an accident. Let's see what happened. Coming off the corner, yeah, Kevin Anderson just gets a little bit tight. We'll actually go back and look from the far chase cam. I can bet it's really hard to make a pass there, especially from the bottom, and just comes up the track and collects Cindy and sends both of them down. Not too much damage, so not too bad, but those drivers should be able to get back going. Looks like only those two were collected, so so they get back going. It's hard to pass. Now that right there, you know, that's tough. That's just trying to make these cars. These cars do not turn to begin with, and so trying to hold it on that bottom, you really have to get up behind somebody and get that run off the corner. You can't really run on the bottom and try to keep it down there. It just won't hold, as we saw Kevin Anderson. Now, Kevin Anderson, one of the cleanest drivers I know, so definitely not a wild card at all. So you can definitely tell with a driver like Kevin Anderson how tough it is to make this work. And we got a couple guys on pit road. Let's see if we got a pit road camera. I seem to change the pit road stuff every time. We sure do. We've got Chris Reese on pit road. You got Kevin Anderson, of course, Sidney Taylor coming down, either getting a fast repair, just doing a little bit of damage repair. And then Brandon Wallace coming in, getting 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles as well. So Brandon Wallace, now he may not be up front, running up front with these guys right now, but I tell you what, he is super smart, plays to his strengths, and at these races, he actually came from 10th all the way to first to win at Charlotte using a tire strategy, making sure he took care of his tires, and guys in front of him were just blowing right fronts left and right. So, man, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but he's a super smart racer. He'll be there at the end. Well, what's the bet at? You'll find out which one, Ratchet Miller, which one I like the most. Y'all tell me what the bet is, and I'll fix it for you. Look, at the Rebel Racing Network, we're not for kids. We're 18 and older for sure. So I like to get a little dirty with the language. You see this racing, hell, you gotta cuss. I mean, it's the only thing you can do if you're out here watching these guys drive like they do. There's got to be some curse words that come out of it. You just can't help it. So, but we lights out on the pace car, getting ready to go back green. We saw Ronnie Osborne have a little issue getting off the corner one time, had to check up. And so we're going to see if he can get that righted. He was pulling away for a little bit until that happened. So, well, I'll tell you what, on this restart, we're going to stare at the wall. But we're going to actually, man, we're going to turn it up. Let's turn it up and let these cars do all the work while I sit back, kick back, and relax. These boys are kicking up dust and making a fuss. I love it. Got a little breakaway here up front. Guys really being patient. You see that there's some gaps going on. And then we go back here to the top 10. Tyler Rice leading sort of this other pack. We got some side-by-side racing here between Josh Oswald and Sean Stevens. Josh Oswald trying to make that car work off the bottom, just struggling to do so. He's going to get passed by Brandon Pollock on the outside. So really tough to make those type of moves. I'm going to turn down the sound just a little bit. So we we see guys, man, they're really taking care of each other. You see what some race control can do to these guys. Oh, we got, as soon as I said that, we got somebody losing it. Oh, 669 of Mike Steffen goes around. I opened my damn mouth. As soon as I said something there over here, they start wrecking. Let's see what happened as we go on board with Mike Steffen. We're going to go right behind him and see just kind of a jumble here of cars trying to make something work. Jesse Necula, Keith doing a great job. And yeah, just, Steffen, there's really nowhere for you to go, and Steffen or Stefan, really great driver, just trying to make something happen, knowing you got to go if you're faster. But just really nowhere to go with drivers, 2x2. They can't get the same run off the corner that he can. And just nowhere to go, and runs to the back of Keith. And looks like then he gets clipped by David Jones. He comes back up on the track. So it looks like he kind of was he was kind of the loser in that ordeal. So he's coming down pit road right now, though, to get his service done. We're going to see what these guys are going to do. Are they going to come down and get tires? We're only 15 laps in. We had a nice little green flag run right there. 75 laps is not that much. We wanted to make the races maybe a little bit longer this season, but with this being sort of a beer league, it's we kind of like an hour-long races and stuff like that. So 75 laps is not a long time. We're already 15 laps in, and if I do some quick math, we got about 60 laps to go. I got a Mississippi education, so I was actually trying to do that in my head. But so far, Ronnie Osborne in the lead, able to hang on to it so far. Nobody's really been able to challenge. We got to get these green flags laps in to try to get some challenges. Guys are really going to have to spend a whole lot of time trying to run each other down. Can't make up a whole lot of time. Qualifying was going to be so important for this particular race. You're not going to be able to run from the backs. The guys who got EOLs early on are really going to have to be smart and work their way up through the field and try to make their way back up there. A couple guys have. Steve Loving started in the very back, had an EOL. He's up to 15th, so he's doing a great job. And Keen Taylor saw him get kind of caught up in almost getting spun there, but he is back up to 17th. So guys are making their way up to the front. Yeah, he did. Mike had it almost saved and had a good little show of car control and just kind of got tagged there at the end. All right, well, let's get going back green again. We see him fanned out. Green flag's out. Ronnie Osborne with a great start. Pretty much have to do that. Have to get a good restart. We see Jonah Colbert and Jared Reed fighting side by. Oh no, it's Dakota Camper fighting side by side. That bottom line just not fast enough. You see Jonah able to really get the RPMs going and actually get to run on Patrick there. But they are single filed out. Somebody claps the wall back there. We are still under green. We watched Jonah Colbert in that beautiful Rainbow Warrior paint scheme, trying to figure out how am I going to get around Patrick Dravik. Patrick definitely not known as a move over and get out of your way type of guy, so Jonah's really going to have to work. And that's really where racecraft shows. If you get impatient, you start to push the issue too much, that just shows bad racecraft. And a lot of these guys really know how to be patient and get around somebody cleanly. You have to work a guy. You hadn't earned that spot until you pass him. Ain't that right? Ratchet Miller, Kevin Kinder. It ain't your spot until you complete the pass. So it doesn't matter how much faster you are. If you can't pass a fella, you ain't faster. We'll check back here. Travis Beaver and Daniel Cunningham Tyler Rice starting to move up into the picture, having a great run up 8 spots up to 9th. Tyler Rice showing his strength early in that Hawaiian Punch 6 machine as he is working on, both get a little bit of a pancake there. Mickey Isaac behind him trying to make his way up to the front. We got a pass here. Matt Telder going to the inside of Steve Loving, and that's for the 13th spot. Steve Loving not able to give the spot up because he had somebody right behind him. Oh, Keith King Taylor's going around, but he saves it. What a great save as gets a little bit loose. I really like that car. I'm a sucker for orange. Davy Jones back there with Vernon Reese. Get a little bit of side-by-side action. See, that's what I love. I like to see guys sideways, hanging that ass end out, and but keeping it together, man. Saving that car, not wrecking, not bringing out a caution. I tell you what, I think we might be getting ready to see a little bit of action up front as Andy Kurtz and Ronnie Osborne have really pulled, and Jonah Colbert was able to get around Patrick Dravik. Andy Kurtz trying not to let Ronnie get away. We know Ronnie is fast. He has shown speed all season long in every race. But I tell you what, this field is stacked full of guys who can wheel these son bitches. Some cars a lot of aero guys really struggle with, but these cars are so much fun. You can really wheel them. And so you see guys like Andy Kurtz, Jonah Colbert, Patrick Dravik, Dakota Camper. Glad to see him make the race. Jared Reed, Travis B. I mean, this whole top 10 is just a monster. And we're actually missing some monsters. Garrett Kinder in race control tonight along with Griff. So got a lot of guys. I'll tell you what, let's go check on Josh Oswalt in the 17 0X car. Looks clean, looks real clean, so that's important as he is up 2 spots. He started 27th, but he has worked his way up to 25th. So he's making some headway. Kevin Anderson, after that accident, working his way back up to the field. He's up to 23rd, along with Mike Steffen, who was caught up in an incident, or was the incident last caution. So guys are making their way forward. I'll tell you what, who's biggest mover right now, though, is Charles Stephen Jr. He's one of those guys that I could just see in this car, man, can just wheel it. He'll wheel the hell out of anything that he drives. You give him a toilet with some wheels on it, he'll wheel that sumbitch. And you see in this car, he is doing a great job all over the back end of Sean Stevens, trying to find out how he can get around him. But also, look at Jesse Necula on the outside. Very, very aggressive move. Got to be careful with that wall, and he does get into it. That's a very, very scary move. That's a Days of Thunder move he was trying right there, trying to take him on the outside at Darlington. Man, just kind of a bottleneck here, and just hard to find anywhere to go. And he's under fire now from Matt Telders. Man, they're looking like they want to try 3 wide. I don't know if that'll work, but they get back in line. So, man, look at this. Hey, Ratchet, Kevin Kinder, anybody else is watching? Look at this green flag racing. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to get excited here in a second as, I don't know what happened to Andy Kurtz. Andy Kurtz is off the pace a little bit. Let's see what happened if I can go back and see. He might have got the wall or something. Sorry about the rewind, but this is the best way because I do not have an event for him. Oh, Andy Kurtz, where are you at? This is the worst broadcasting in history. Yeah, he got into the wall, and looks like he just moved over and let Jonah go. I tell you what, that's a hell of a driver right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's somebody that you want in your league, somebody who understands that, hey, I'm a little out of shape. Let me move over and let these guys go and not hold them up. If I can have 30 Andy Kurtz in my series, man, I'd take them. That's a classy move. So I'm gonna call out every classy move that I see tonight, as these guys are taking care of each other at one of the hardest tracks in one of the hardest cars. So, man, fantastic racing. So let's hone in on the race. Let's stop blowing smoke and check in on Ronnie Osborne in the lead. Putting some laps down. I mean, he's a tenth faster than anybody else. Being out front really has a lot of clean air. It's definitely gonna show. So he is really putting on a clinic right now. Guys are gonna have to really figure out what he's doing and try to mimic that. But Jonah Colbert, Patrick Dravik, Andy Kurtz, these guys, I definitely, and some guys who are back in the field a little bit, working their way towards the front. I believe there's plenty of guys who can compete with him. Just depends on how much he's using those tires. Tires are going to be huge. A lot of these guys haven't pitted yet, and so we're not at halfway just yet. But these tires are really, really going to start falling off, and you're going to have to pit and be careful. So. Ronnie Osborne showing how fast he's been all season long. Let's see how he deals with traffic, and let's see how well he's been able to save his tires, manage that aggression versus tire saving. So you see him giving a little clap to the wall right there. Oh, and he gets really, really hard in the wall. That car, a little bit of aero. There's not too much aero, but you can see the tight condition really catch up to him, especially once he got close to that car. And Ronnie Osborne is in trouble. He is hitting the wall again. So he's going to have to be careful as the 94 machine of Alex Veith, man, moves out of the way. That's what I'm talking about, Alex. That's showing a lot of respect. That's showing that you really care about the guys you race with. Moved over, let the leader go. Love it. Love, love, love it. So, man, these guys are putting on a show. We'll check back here to second place, see how they're doing. Jonah Colbert, Patrick Dravik, running similar lap times. A little bit faster than Ronnie Osborne that last lap. So these guys are starting to click away some good laps. Almost running the exact same lap time there. So Patrick Dravik not letting Jonah Colbert get away, and they seem to not be as Ronnie hitting the wall and kind of getting a little tight off the corner. These guys seem to be a little bit more stable. Let's go ahead and go through the field if we can. Try to highlight some paint schemes, see what guys are running. Andy Kurtz in that Valvoline machine, or Dakota Camper, sorry, bud. In that NWO white scheme. I love it. I grew up watching wrestling when I was younger, and I definitely was not an NWO white fan. I was definitely NWO red. I love Sting, and I think he was on the red one. So I don't know much about wrestling. I just know that he was red, and that's who I was a fan of. So I really love that scheme. Andy Kurtz in the Valvoline scheme. And then right behind him, Daniel Cunningham. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't know what his is. Oh, Rowdy Energy. Running like a throwback looking Rowdy Energy scheme. I kind of like it. Check Travis Bieber in that Valvoline Larson replica on the Monte Carlo. Right behind him, Jared Reed, our Daytona winner, having a great run in 8th. Started 5th, but it's kind of dropped back a little bit, but still having a great run. Mickey Isaac in that 01 machine, running the U.S. Army paint scheme. Behind him, Jesse Necula. Now, Jesse Necula, I'm telling you, we saw him already get a little wild and involved in one incident and stuff, but I'm going to tell you right now, this fella right here can drive these damn cars. He is a wild man. He bought it one night, jumped into the race, and was battling for the lead in one of our races last season. This is a guy to watch. If he can qualify up to the front, he's going to be battling for wins all season long. So looking forward to that. Tyler Rice, we talked about him right behind him. Just a couple seconds back, you see Matt Telder. And that's a really pretty car. I like that. That RC Cola machine. Hell yeah, brother. Steve Loving checking on him. Started in the back, already up to 13th place. He's got Charles Stevens Jr. all over his back end, trying to hold Charles off. Charles getting a nice run there. We'll watch this battle for just a few minutes. Man, y'all, it's just amazing. Look at this green flag action that we got. I can actually go back through the field and watch these guys race. Charles Stevens gets a great run through the middle of the corner, but you see him back off. Trying to be patient. Oh, Jesse Necula goes around. Oh, no. What happened? We were just, man, I was just, that damn broadcaster curse. I can't believe it. Like we got Dave Jones with some new tires. Maybe Dave got a little bit loose and then is trying to save it, and Jesse gets into the wall a little bit. Jesse just trying to give Dave Jones a little bit of room, and unfortunately is taken out. So broadcaster curse, no caution. We got race control tonight, and they decided that wasn't bad enough to throw a caution. Like I said, iRacing at Darlington is pretty notorious for not throwing cautions unless it's just in the racing groove itself. So a couple drivers having some issues there. Let's keep going back through the field. Oh my goodness, as soon as we get to somebody, it looks like Chris Reese in that Coors Light 62 car gets into the wall a little bit, and looks like Charles Stevens had to back off a little bit, lost the spot. Keith Keen Taylor right behind him, making his way back up through the field. And old Brandon Wallace with those new tires, up 15 spots. Started all the way at the back, up 15 spots. Came in on that last caution and got him a set of tires. And you see he has made his way all the way up to 16th place. And if we go all the way to the end here, guys up front may have to worry about their tires, but guess who won't? And that's Mr. Brandon Wallace himself in that 99. Yeah, I'm so scared. I need to get off these drivers. I'm jinxing every one of them. Brandon Pollock right behind him. Vernon Reese having a great run, up 10 spots. Man, what a great job he's doing. He's getting passed by Kevin Anderson right now, trying to recover. And hey, look, Vernon Reese, that is what we're talking about. You saw he was faster. You knew he had position. You move over, let him go. Man, I love to see it, Vernon. Man, you're more than welcome to come in. Just don't join early. But you're more than welcome anytime in the series. I love to see that. That's sportsmanship right there. But Mike Steffen, hoping that he does the same thing. As it gets right into the wall, Mike Steffen going to try to go under him. And woo. You know, Vernon came down off that wall a little bit as Mike was coming by, but they were able to get through it no problem. Jason Launchers, we haven't talked about him much tonight. Probably because his car looked very similar to Brandon Pollock's. But sporting a new Ray-Ban scheme. Jason Launchers not having the race probably he wanted. Qualifying effort around 25th. He is up 4 spots. But up 4 spots, but just not making the ground up that you would think he would. So maybe just struggling with the track a little bit. Same with Josh Oswald. You know, I haven't been able to keep up with just about everything, but guys I expect to be moving up towards the front seem to be hanging out back here. Him and Gherardini in that Roca 117 car. Stephen Gibson. He's down 10 spots. I don't know if he was involved in an incident. I can't remember. But he's sitting in 24th. Alex Veith in that McDonald's machine. Kyle Robertson, the 35, getting put a lap down. Ooh, there's a gaggle of cars here. Is Kyle just trying to get out of the way a little bit, and everybody's just kind of stacking up around him. So hopefully he can get out of the way. These guys just be patient around him. Brandon Wallace goes down to the apron to try to get around him, and so far everything's good. Charles Stevens, though, gets down to the apron, able to save that car. Vernon Reese going around, though, it looks like, and yellow flag is out. So under caution, as I hate to have missed some things, trying to go through the field, get everybody on camera, show their paint schemes off, but it looks like Patrick Dravik was able to pass Jonah Colbert for second place. So Patrick Dravik showing some speed, showing what he's got. But we are under our 4th caution tonight. That's 12 less than what we had at this point last week. So we're okay for the break. Get everybody stacked up. Guys who've been trying to work their way through the field can get caught up, and we can get these guys going. But these guys are going to head down pit road for sure. You cannot stay out here. They saw what Brandon Wallace was able to do, and you cannot stay out here. As guys really pushing that speed limit. Got to be careful. As they almost stacked it up, but they was able to stay off each other there. As our leaders come down pit road, Ronnie Osborne with the lead has really taken control of this race early and has yet to give it up. But I'm telling you, I think some of these guys in the top 5 have got something. We'll see as the end of the race picks up. We watch these guys go into pit road. We'll watch this race off pit road, see how agonizing these 22 to 24 second pit stops are, and see who's able to win the race off of pit road. You see the left side's already up, about to drop the jack on the left side of Mr. Osborne's car, and had a nice camera angle, and as soon as they dropped the jack, it changed. Dakota Camper with a great stop was able to come out second, or at least second on that. So he was able to beat off. He was able to beat two. He moved up 2 spots, okay, on pit road with a great pit stop. He had a 21.53 stop, and Jonah Colbert, Patrick Dravik with a 24.67, Jonah Colbert with a 23.05. So a lot of variance in these pit stops, and so he was on the winning side of that dice roll and was able to pick up 2 spots, which are huge. Takes 2, 3, 4, 5 laps to pass somebody, and being able to pick up 2 spots on pit road, it's a big deal. But so far, a great race tonight. I am tickled pink at how great these guys are respecting each other, respecting the track. Darlington has a way of doing that where you've got to, you pretty much have to. Last season at Darlington was really, really clean, as you're really racing the track more than you're racing other folks. So that aggression, that loud pedal doesn't get used much. So Patrick Dravik had worked his way up to second place, and unfortunately, just a slow pit stop. In 1987, we had 300-pound fellas out there running around with the jacks and tires. So he's got a couple barbecue-eating fellas on his pit crew, it seems like. Mr. Lumpkin in chat got some support for his teammates Ronnie Osborne and Dakota Camper up on the front row. So your driver's controlling this race right now. So we've got fresh tires. We've got enough tires to make it to the end. We're going to go green with about 26 laps to go. So it is going to be a madhouse. Tires really don't matter anymore because of that caution. Any tire you were trying to save doesn't matter. You got 4 fresh tires on, and you got to go. You're going to make it all the way to the end no matter how hard you drive. So we're going to see the intensity pick up. Let's see who's been holding that back a little bit, who's got that little extra, and let's see how much Ronnie Osborne's been holding back, and see what he can do. Clean start by Ronnie. We go down into turn 1. Dakota Camper giving him plenty of room. Is Dakota a little bit slower than Ronnie there? He's got Jonah Colbert all over the back end. Jonah trying to make a move on him, as you see Jared Reed back here. Patrick Dravik going down into pit road. Oh no. Well, we know what that is. Looks like, unfortunately, for Pat, he has got a speeding penalty. He must have gotten a little bit too hot into pit road, so he is coming down, serving a penalty. That is, man, that's tough. He was running up in second place, having such a great run, and that's going to hurt. He's at least going to go down 1 lap down, maybe more. Definitely not what you want to see. But let's go back up front, as we've got 3 drivers fighting for the win here. Jonah Colbert starting to show his speed. I'm a little biased, not going to lie. I got a little broadcaster bias, but I know how good he is. And I tell you what, he is going to show how good he is. Dakota Camper moves out of the way, backs off, lets him have the corner. Fucking Dakota Camper, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Love to see that. Please come back every week. I will make sure that I'll give you all the camera time, because that's what we love to see here, guys. Being respectful, racing each other with a lot of respect, and that's exactly what he did. So moved Jonah Colbert up to second place. He could tell Jonah was getting a huge run, really racing hard, and he does a smart thing, man. I love to see it. We'll check back here. Mickey Isaac moved up into sixth place, getting ready to crack the top 5. Daniel Cunningham has done that. He is working on Jared Reed at the moment, trying to get into that 4th position. As Ronnie Osborne is going to have a tough time here. This is Patrick Dravik coming back on track. Patrick probably a lap down. We'll actually pull this up and see if he is a lap down. And if he isn't, he will be fighting. Yeah, Patrick Dravik is 1 lap down, so he's going to fight to stay on that lead lap. And he is plenty fast enough to stay in front of him. But he is definitely not going to let Ronnie go. I know Ronnie would love for him to move out of the way, but here in Original Rebels, lap cars have every right to fight for their position, and I think that's what's going to happen here. Is he is trying to stay at least 1 lap down to get a wave around on a caution or something, try to get back in this race after that penalty. But Patrick Dravik actually pulling away a little bit, so Patrick getting on down. Yeah, last lap, Ronnie Osborne is the fastest car on the track outside of, let's check Patrick. Yeah, Patrick Dravik is laying down some lap times. Man, he is getting with it. Patrick Dravik, the fastest car on the track. He did not take tires, but he is just getting with it. But outside of that, Ronnie Osborne still putting down some of the fastest lap times on the track. So Jonah Colbert, Dakota Camper, they're going to have to figure something out, find a little bit of extra speed, because Ronnie is just sailing away. Now, we saw Ronnie get out to a little bit of lead. Tires start to wear a little bit, started hitting the wall, kind of knocking the wall down out of 2, so he's got to be careful. But if he can keep this pace up, he is in a good shape as we're getting down to 20 laps to go. Let's go back here and check this battle between Keith Taylor and Kevin Anderson. 2 great drivers, and Jason Lottridge, we talked about, he probably wasn't where he wanted to be, but look at him, he's in 14th, right behind these guys. We watch this battle for 13th as Keith Taylor trying to get his way back up into the top 10. Keith, a fantastic driver, extremely fast, and I think the tap out scheme gives him about 50 more horsepower than anybody else, but really having to work on Kevin Anderson. Kevin Anderson really fast, super clean. Kevin Anderson runs over into the in the Thunderstruck series, and he is one of the best drivers at just being consistent and having no mistakes. He does a really good job of that. So got Cindy Taylor out of the race. Sorry to see that. Glad to have you in chat though, and you're cheering on Keith as he is trying to make up a little bit of ground, but it looks like he lost a little bit there, and Jason Lottridge moving up towards his back bumper. Let's check in on Steve Loving and Travis Bieber as I have an eye on the lead, and we'll keep up with it. We're actually going to jump up here and see what's going on. Jonah Colbert losing a little bit of time still to Ronnie Osborne. Osborne just putting down a blazing fast pace, but that time around, Jonah Colbert was the fastest car on the track, so there's still some left in the tank for Jonah, so we'll keep an eye on that as we get to 17 laps to go. But let's check in some more on these battles. Jason Lottridge, like I said, trying to run down Keith Taylor, trying to get into that 14th or 13th position, make his way towards the top 10. Speaking of top 10, Steve Loving has made his way. Started in the back, had an engine change, and had to make his way up towards the front, and so far so good, up to 10th spot. Doing a great job. Travis Bieber all over the back end. Travis gets into the wall a little bit, able to save it. So he's going to fall back a little bit. That's going to let Steve Loving breathe a little bit. But our biggest movers of the race right now, Matt Tilder, had an engine change as well at start in the back, and he is already in the top 10, running ninth, and he is trying to track down Chris Reese, who, and guys are getting really, really tight off these corners. We'll check back in with the lead. Last time by, Jonah Colbert, Dakota Camper, a little bit faster. We'll check this time by, see how much different. All three of them almost ran the exact same lap time, a 32.49. So, guys up front, they are probably all running about as hard as you can. Check on Andy Kurtz as he is. Can't tell if he's moving forward or going back. I feel like Daniel Cunningham was in fourth, but he has dropped back a little bit. I've missed a couple passes, but I think guys are just being smart. Check this battle here. Steve Loving, I believe, got passed by Travis Beaver. But man, an amazing race. Man, I'm so thrilled. I'm so glad to have these drivers on track, putting on this show. Thank y'all so much if y'all go back and watch this for being smart, being good to each other, taking care of each other. We've had a couple incidents, but nothing egregious, nothing like last week. And man, I just want to give props to these guys and just appreciate what they've done this week to really clean this series up and make it. So we got 32 drivers on track tonight at Darlington, and caution's out. Tyler Rice goes around. It looks like, oh man, this is going to change up a lot of things. We get down, we're going to have about 10 laps to go. Let's see what happened. Tyler Rice goes down in the corner. Does he get in the wall? He does. Him and Kyle Roberts together almost saved it, but came up the track. Alex Veith does a great job of missing that. Whoever that was on the bottom, great job. Tyler Rice doing a fantastic job of holding the brake, not running up into the field, letting the caution flag come out, and then safely getting his car back going. Fantastic job by him, but he's probably not happy to have been doing a 360. But let's see what Ronnie Osborne looks like. You know, he doesn't even look like he has any emotion at all. If you look on his face right there, he's just kind of stone cold, man. Just looking. Let's try to go back. There it is. Okay. As he goes down to pit road, look, he's not even phased by it. The pressure's not getting to him. Stone cold. Not even blinking, man. He's not even blinking. So, but let's go back live and see. We've got a couple people taking pit road. As Steve Loving comes down and gets tires. So does Travis Beaver. Brandon Pollock and Jason Lauter decide to come down and get 4 tires. Be interested to see how well that works out, as they're giving up quite a bit of track position, but only 24, 25 guys on the lead lap. So, you know, they're not going to fall back too far. They're going to have about 10 laps to make those tires work, but we've already seen that, you know, it's very, very hard to pass even with new tires. So you're going to have to get going in a hurry, but also keep it clean. So, but up front, no change so far, as Ronnie Osborne's still out in the lead. He did not want to see that caution, as he had a pretty nice lead there. And so now he's going to have to do what he did all night, sadly, last week, which is be really, really good on restarts. And he'll have control of the restart, but he's got to be careful. One missed shift, and that's all she wrote. So a lot of pressure to get this one done. It doesn't like we'll have too many of those. So I'll tell you what, I got some more. I put a lot of commercials in, some new ones. So let's go ahead and let's go through a commercial while we get ready to have this little 8 lap shootout.
If your bowl gets nasty, this Sanaflash granular. It's so effective it even removes rust, and it destroys household germs. Sanaflash granular. It takes the beast out of your bowl.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, hold tight a little longer, be close a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness smells right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer, make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
Uh-oh, I don't know how much I've been talking. Sorry about that. Yeah, Jonah Colbert just goes down the corner. He's got somebody on his inside and just slams the wall. And unfortunately, that's going to end his race. So, yeah, most of the field was able to avoid him. Just a tough deal there for Jonah as he. I didn't see any kind of games being played. I think Ronnie just didn't go as early as he normally does, which is it's all his. It's on him to go whenever he wants, and he kind of waited a little bit longer and got a great jump, and Jonah unfortunately just didn't, and he goes down in turn one. You can't just let off now. It's end of the race, and unfortunately Jonah just not able to hold on to it. Gets into that wall and ends up bowing pit road getting a tow. So yeah, sorry about losing the sound there, guys. Well, all right, we see guys running down on the bottom, letting the lucky dog Tyler Rice by. Patrick Dravik would love to have one more caution, as now he is in the lucky dog position, which I would, if I was a betting man, I'd say you're probably going to get it. You know, once it gets down to 10 laps, you know, in a 75-lap race, I think 65 of them ought to be the most respectful. All the room in the world you can give somebody. When you get down to 10 laps, man, it's go time, and you know, you're just not going to live for a guy when you're trying to win a race. So all bets are off now. We're going to see what guys have got. See if anybody back here in the top 5 has got anything for Ronnie Osborne. As the two challengers for the whole race, Patrick Dravik, Jonah Colbert, both having issues, so they are out of it basically. Even if Patrick gets a lucky dog, it's going to be real tough in the time that's left for him to get up through the field. But you never know. You know, I would have said, if you're any Formula One fans out there, if you would have told me with 10 laps to go that Max Verstappen would have won that race, I would have called you a liar and said that you're an idiot, you know what you're talking about. But anything can happen in racing. And that's why we race all the way to checker flag, because anything can happen. So I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah, you sure did. Yeah, you can't blame that one on me. Ratchet Miller, Jonah Colbert, if you go back and watch this, Ratchet Miller in chat called you out and said you were pretty salty. It's going to be tough for Ronnie. And so no curse for me. It's all Ratchet Miller. But right now, as we get ready to come to the 1 to green, Ronnie Osborne, Dakota Camper, Jared Reed, Andy Kurtz, Daniel Cunningham, your top 5, Matt Telder with a hell of a run, 15 spots, biggest mover of the race. Up 15 spots, for where he started. In the back, up to 6th place. Keith Taylor running 7th, Mickey Isaac running 8th, Kevin Anderson running 9th, and Charles Stevens Jr. with a hell of a run in the top 10. As we get the 1 to green, let's, I wonder if I want to shout out our sponsor, Flexible Freight Solutions. Oh my goodness, I didn't have the logos up all race, but shout out our sponsors, of course, Goatlocker, title sponsor, Valvoline, the main sponsor, and one of our supporting sponsors, Davy Jones himself, Flexible Freight Solutions, as well as Pace Car is running a weird-ass line there. Like he's trying to get on the outside and get a good run off the corner. But we are getting ready to go green. Looks like we're going to have a little green-white checkered here. Does anybody have anything for Ronnie Osborne, who has dominated this race from start to finish? Nobody has even gotten close. Can he continue that? And he gets a great jump. But Dakota Camper gets a good start. He's going to have that preferred lane as they go up into the corner. Dakota Camper is there. And he definitely had the speed to keep up with Ronnie. Let's see if he can able to put some pressure on him. As we watch this lead, see if anybody's able to do anything. Ronnie with a really strong turn right there. You saw how much he gapped. As old Steve Loving gets into the wall. See Steve Loving spinning down to the inside. No caution yet. Looks like he's able to hang on to it. We go back to the front. Steve Loving back on track slow. As we've got a little 4-car battle. Dakota Camper, is he able to have anything for... I'm going to go on board with Andy Kurtz as we watch this battle. You see he wants to get on it so bad, just can't. You know you're going to plow down the wall. And see Dakota make up a little bit of ground on Ronnie. Let's go on board with Dakota Camper and see if he's able to do anything as we coming down to take. Oh, caution is out. Oh, no. Oh, Dakota not wanting to see that at all, as he looked like he was getting a run, and it's hard to see what happened there. As we see Kevin Anderson, Stephen Gibson seem to be collected in some sort of accident. So we are going to a green-white checker. Let's go back and let's see exactly what happened between these two drivers. Kinder Farmer Rich. Wreckage rewind. Oh, Kevin Anderson just gets into the wall a little bit. Goes down to the inside wall. And not really sure what happened to Stephen Gibson. See Stephen up there getting clocked. Let's go back and see what happened to him. So he's behind this. He sees the wreck and gets off of it. And Hemi Gherardini just not able to see that there was a wreck happening and just gets into him. And Tyler Rice gets a piece as well. So, well, all right, we're under our first green-white checker. To see Kevin Anderson in pits along with Steve Loving coming down to get his fast repair. But I tell you what, I was actually surprised. Ronnie Osborne got a really, really good start. Was able to get... Patrick Dravik does get his lucky dog, so he's going to be back on the lead lap. We'll see what he's able to do to make his way close to the top 10. But we saw Dakota get a really good run there right before the caution came out. I was interested to see what he was going to be able to do in the next couple corners, as he really got it hooked up after the initial start. Ronnie Osborne just really, really good through turn 1 and 2 on the restart. Has been all night. If Dakota can figure that out and stay with him, I think he's definitely got a good chance. Race with Dakota in the late night series, and I tell you what, he's got a lot of speed. Very, very fast driver. While we're getting ready to go back green, let's go ahead and pull up the point standing. Let's see who is in the lead. And you see Ronnie Osborne with that one win last week, and Jarrett Reed with the win at Daytona. So our two winners up front makes sense. We're using the old 1987 Winston Cup Series points system. So 175 for a win. If you lead the most laps, lead all the laps, you get 185. 5 bonus points for leading the lap, and 5 more for leading the most. But you see our top 5 there: Ronnie Osborne, Jared Reed, Jason Warren missing tonight, so he'll drop back a little bit. We do have 2 drop weeks, so but Andy Kurtz running in 3rd position. Definitely going to have a good point stay if he can't get up there and get this win. Garrett Kinder in 4th, tied with Andy in 4th. Travis Bieber in 6th. Josh Oswald in 7th. Mike Hasty 8th. Chris Reese 9th, and Steve Loving in 10th. You see the rest of the top 15 there. So it's going to change a little bit. Some guys that are missing tonight, but we do have 2 drop weeks. So towards the end of the season, we will actually have 2 races that'll fall off. So if you have a couple bad races or you miss a race or 2, you're not totally out of it, because we're not doing any kind of playoffs. They didn't do playoffs in 1987, so we're not going to do that either. So these guys having a lot of time to think about this under caution. We're getting the first green white checker. I believe it's the first green white checker. I'm going to show a little bit behind the curtain a little bit just to see. Yep, 1 out of 2. So this will be our first green white checker. Ronnie Osborne just hasn't had a whole lot of restarts to get. Last week he would have been a pro. He had 17 of them to practice, so he was a pro at it. Here he's only had a few, so I'm doing like the guys at Fox, trying to drum up a little bit of drama here, as Ronnie has just been unbeatable tonight. Come down the backstretch, entering into turn 3 and 4. Yeah, absolutely, Kevin Kinder. Shout out Race Control. Man, they've been doing a hell of a job. This race has definitely shown that their presence has made a big difference. And of course, the lady in black herself keeping guys in check. So here we go, getting ready on the first green-white checkered. Ronnie Osborne is he going to get a good jump like he has been all night. He does. He gets going. But Dakota Camper actually with a really, really good start. They're going to be nose to tail going into turns 1. Dakota going to be there, and caution is out as Brandon Pollock goes around. Oh, and it's a big one too. Oh my goodness. Let's go back and see what happened on that restart. Brandon Pollock. Everything looks good. So, Brandon Pollock misses a shift. It looks like he shifted down into 2nd. And, that's tough. Let's go on board if we can and try to watch those RPMs. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, you hear him just not able to get that thing in gear, and you saw his back tires come up off the ground as guys behind him not able to really do anything. You miss a shift, that's really tough. So Travis Bieber, those guys behind him just nowhere to go. So tough deal. That's nobody's fault. Missed shifts happen, and that's exactly what happened to Brandon there. So tough deal there. Trying to have a good finish, and like I said earlier, on a green-white checker, you're not going to get a whole lot of grace. People aren't going to be able to check up, especially when you miss a gear like that. Kevin Kinder says, miss shaft. Yep. Well, let's go ahead and give out our Best Paint Award winner. And I got to say, man, I really, 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 really like this Crown Royal car. So tonight, that's going to be our Smil Racing Design Best Paint of the Night by Mr. Matt Telder. What a fantastic looking car. Every time I see it, it catches my eye. But there's a lot of paint schemes, so if you didn't get picked, don't feel bad. You'll probably get it at some point. But this one I've seen a couple times, and man, I just love it. So if it's a trade paint special, how dare you? But if you painted this yourself or had somebody paint it, man, they did a great job. You know, I have this Mr. Irrelevant award that I have to give out every race, and I have to be honest with you, I'm uncomfortable giving it out because I don't like to call anybody Mr. Irrelevant or Miss Irrelevant. So I'm never really sure who to give this to, and not. I'll tell you what. We'll give it to. We'll give it to Colton Lamford, and if you're watching it, man, it's all in good fun, man. But you're going to be the Sabusky Window Tinting Mr. Irrelevant award winner tonight, as he did not make the race. So there's your Mr. Irrelevant. And then we have the Hard Luck Award. I think there's a couple guys that are probably in a running for that, but we'll see how this plays out before we give that one out. As there might be some guys still that we haven't seen that are going to end up with that one. All right, well, we're coming to the 1 to green, I believe, and we will have our last green-white checker tonight and see who's going to take home this win. Ronnie Osborne has been dominant all race, and but it's going to come down to this. Dakota Camper showed a lot of speed on that last race. The last couple restarts have been, he's shown he's got something for him. Dakota just really needs this thing to stay green all the way to the end, and we'll see what happens. He's got to make it. We've already seen guys miss shifts. Got to make it through the gears first, then make the turn, and go from there and try to fend off these guys who are ready to pounce. Pace car going to take that left turn down on pit road. Ronnie Osborne, Dakota Camper, Jared Reed, Andy Kurtz, Matt Telder, your top 5. Who is going to pull away and win the Nick Moss 100 tonight? Ronnie Osborne gets a great start, but another really, really good start by Dakota Camper. Not able to stay next to him, but it's really hard to do. Is he going to get a good run down into the first corner? They are side by side. Jared Reed all over the back bumper. Dakota had to back out a little bit. That's going to open the door a little bit for Andy Kurtz. Dakota just had a small slip, but caution is out, and that is going to be the race. It looks like we'll check and see who was the cause of that caution. It looks like Chris Reese up there and Patrick Dravik. Yeah, Patrick Dravik trying to make up a little bit of time, and Chris Reese trying to just take it easy, and Patrick just kind of gets into him. Green-white checker, that kind of stuff is going to happen. But that's going to be the race. Ronnie Osborne is going to come around and get the white flag if he hasn't already while I was running my mouth. And we'll see. Should take the checker flag right here. So we are on the white flag lap. You see the flashes going off as Ronnie Osborne comes and takes the checkered flag, and he is going to win the Nick Moss 100. Shout out to Mickey Isaac, Nick Moss, and his family and friends. We want to remember you tonight, and I think we did a great job of honoring his memory tonight. It's a really good race and a fantastic win by Ronnie Osborne. So, man, what a great third race. Man, I got to give it to these guys. Man, everybody was in this race. Thank y'all very much. Everybody did a great job. There were some accidents and stuff, but that's going to happen here. And I got to say, man, y'all put on a great show. So thank y'all for improving this series and making it what it should be. And y'all showed out tonight. So everybody, congratulations. If I had an award to give to the whole field, I would give it. Y'all did a great job. But tonight, Ronnie Osborne is your winner. So let's go ahead and get some interviews going as we get our third place driver in here if we can, as the demo derby has started. And we'll try to talk to Andy Kurtz here. Andy Kurtz, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Eddie, how you doing?
Well, man, I'm doing a great job. I'm doing great, man. Stumbling over my
Yeah,
words. The caffeine is starting to wear off. But I had a jolt of it tonight watching y'all race. It was a fantastic race. Just a few cautions, but nothing like last week. Man, kind of talk about your race. You started second, kind of hung around the top three all race. Saw you, man, being really patient, letting guys go, and being there at the end to take home third place, man. Talk about your race. Tell me about it and how it went for you tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, super happy with the result. I know it's been a while since I've been up here on a podium in with these 87 cars. But love running them. I love this track. It's one of my favorite tracks. But yeah, like you said, I mean, just trying to be patient. I know that's super important here. Tire fall off is, it's absolutely horrendous in these cars at this track. So yeah, just trying to be patient, knowing it's a long race. And yeah, awesome job by everyone in this field. A lot of green flag laps this week, so certainly played out. I don't know if I, was a top three car. I think, I know some stuff happened with Jonah and a couple guys ahead of me there, but happy with how it played out.
Yeah, I mean, I saw at one point, I want to commend you. I don't know if something happened or if you just intentionally did this, but I saw you move over and let a couple guys go at some point earlier on in the race, and that kind of attitude, that driving style, has it a lot of times it pays off, and I think that did pay off for you tonight as you were still able to come home in third place. So man, congratulations. You got any sponsors, any shout outs, any teammates, family, friends that you want to shout out?
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, just want to thank you for putting on such a awesome broadcast for everyone, and helping this series be what it is today. Of course, want to thank Goatlocker, Valvoline, and Flexible Freight Solutions as well.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not me who makes the series. It's y'all and you and all the guys that show up every week and put on a hell of a show. So congratulations again, man.
Awesome, man. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Well, all right, there's your third place finisher. Let's talk to Dakota Camper. I'm kind of excited to talk to him because I have some questions for him. I want to hear about his race. Dakota, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Well, man, what a race by you. Up 4 spots from where you started. Man, I feel like you had enough to get him. I know you and Ronnie are on the same team, I think. I may be wrong about that. You'll let me know. But, man, I think you had something for him there. Just run out of laps, man. Just the cautions kind of stacked up there at the end. Talk me through your race, what you needed to get back up there, and then those last few restarts trying to run down Osmer there.
Yeah, I'm really new to these cars. So my goal was just to try and get a decent finish because I didn't finish well at Phoenix, didn't make the race at Daytona. So the goal was just get points and take care of the car the whole race. Yeah, me and Ronnie worked very well together. He helped me on those restarts. And, probably more laps. I do think I may have been a little bit quicker than him at the end, but overall, he's just a tough opponent.
Well, what did you need to do early on in the race to kind of stay up? Because I know you dropped back a few spots, and were you just trying to take care of your stuff, or were those guys just a little bit faster, or you just trying to feel it out, or what did you need to do to kind of stay up towards the front early on in that race when you dropped back a few spots?
Well, I really haven't had many laps in this car here, and in practice, I really couldn't get more than about 5 laps without hitting the wall and crashing. So I was just trying to keep it going forward for as long as I could and save my tires. I was trying not to send it into the corner and burn up my right front, so maybe later in the run I could get those guys back when I started getting comfortable. But these cars have so much fall off, and you've got to really back up your corners. It's a big difference from the New Cup cars.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that guys who just jump in the car, that they're new to it, seem to a lot of time really do well because of just kind of the way the car drives. It seems like if you think too much about these cars, it can bite you. So man, you showed a lot of speed tonight. I'm excited to see what you're going to do for the rest of the season as you hit some of these tracks that are really really fun. That allow for a little bit a little bit more racing that's not so scary. But man, you did a great job, a hell of a job, second place, really clean racing, man. Um, so congratulations. You got anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors?
Yeah, I want to thank you out. My mom and dad's watching on my stream. So throttle underscore up on Twitch if you want to follow me there. A shout out. Normally I have Unchained Motorcycle Ministry on the car. Just big shout out to them. They do such a phenomenal work in our region. Jeremy and Chastity Monk that run that organization, and was able to paint this one up. WCW NWO, old wrestling fans. So I guess I'll just thank the NWO for that one.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, congratulations again, and hope to see you next week and talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you, and you do a phenomenal job on this broadcast. It's really cool the way you do it, retro.
Thanks, man. Well, there you have it, Dakota. Oh, I moved myself. Let me move. I moved myself out of the channel. Let's talk to Ronnie Osborne and get him in here. Ronnie, this Eddie in the booth, you got me?
Yes, I do.
Let me turn you up just a little bit so I can hear what you're saying. Well, Ronnie, a little bit cleaner race, except for right at the very end tonight. Guys seem to be really respectful of the track and each other. Kind of talk to me about the race. Congratulations, by the way, again for your second win of the season. This one you had to work for a little bit. Last week you kind of could just do those restarts. You didn't really have a whole lot of green flag laps, but man, super fast, pull gaps on guys that I really think are championship caliber drivers. And you had a really good lead early in the race in those long green flag runs. So talk me through your race, what you need to do, and at the end trying to hold off your teammate Dakota.
Pretty much it was through the race. It was just finding that edge to ride on and keeping the tires underneath you and saving them as much as you could. I focused heavily on saving the tires in that long green run, and the second green run, I was honestly got worried at one point when they were running me down because I wasn't saving the tires well enough, and the cautions at the end helped me out there. And racing with Dakota is a good thing to have a teammate up there with you when you're up front. And fortunately, we were able to work with each other and make sure we secured a 1-2 finish.
Well, all right, man. Well, congratulations on 2 wins in a row. Man, you got a target on your back now, though. Guys are going to be trying to gun for you and really try to steal a couple wins away from you. But, man, doing a great job, man. Super clean, super fast. And you showed up the field again tonight. So congratulations on a win, 2 in a row. You got anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors, friends, family you want to shout out?
A thank you to PH Ware, Dakota, the guys who run this league, you for broadcasting, and a shout out to all my family and friends that wished me a happy birthday today.
Well, hell yeah, man. Well, happy birthday. That's a hell of a birthday present. So congratulations, happy birthday. Go celebrate, man. If you're of, I don't know how old you are. If you're of drinking age, man, have a couple beers. So
Yeah, you're number 22 now, so I got plenty to drink.
that's what I'm talking about. Well, all right, man. Well, congratulations again. We'll hopefully probably be talking to you next week.
Hope so.
Well, there you have it, guys. Ronnie Osborne, 2 wins in a row. Man, just showing a lot of speed, a lot of patience, and coming home with the win. I gotta say, this was fantastic. This is what I love to see, guys. Really, really showing a lot more respect this week. A 32 car field versus a 43 car field, definitely do that. But let's go through the results, and we'll kind of show off everybody and their great finishes. Highlight a couple that had some really, really good ones. Ronnie Osborne, Dakota Camper, Andy Kurtz, you know of. Jared Reed with another top 5, man, doing a great job in 4th. Daniel Cunningham with the top 5. A hell of a run by him. Matt Telder, 15 spots. You would think that's the biggest move of the race, but it ain't. We'll get to him. But had a great run all the way from the back. Man, I tell you what, that's impressive at Darlington. So, starting from the back, finishing 6th. Matt Telder, man, definitely want to shout out Spill Racing Designs paint of the race. Keith Taylor with a fantastic finish in 7th, starting at the back as well. Josh Oswald up 19 spots. So, I'm going to start calling him Mr. Incredible, the champ. I mean, he's a 6, 7, 18-time champ. I'm not real sure. But, man, showing why he is a champion, because I'll tell you what, he was kind of running in the back, hoping to dodge some accidents, maybe a little bit off the pace. Who knows? You'd have to ask him. But there at the end, able to make his way. I was talking about him being around 25th at some point. And there at the end, you see Josh Oswald in 8th place. So, no doubt about it, knows how to points race and get the best finish he can. Mickey Isaac finishing 9th. Charles Stevens with another fantastic run in 10th, up 14 spots. Jason Lottridge as well. We're talking about him running near Josh Oswald. And there he is running 11th, 14 spot gain for him as well. So Mike Steppen had trouble early on in the race. Come back, rebounds back and finishes 12th. Steve Loving 13th. Tyler Rice 14th. Stephen Gibson 15th. Travis Bieber 16th. Brandon Wallace, fantastic run up through the field, up 14 spots, finished in 17th. Chris Reese 18th. Kyle Roberts with a great finish in 19th. Alex Veith finished in 20th. Kevin Anderson 21st. Justin Wickoff 22nd. Jesse Necula 23rd. Hemi Gherardini, 24th. Brandon Pollock, 25th. Saw him miss a shift, and I know he's pretty disappointed about that finish, but he'll come back next week and probably rebound from that in 25th. 26th, Patrick Dravik, just disappointing. Had moved up into 2nd on that long green flag run, was making his way up to the leader, and then on that pit road had a speeding penalty and had to come back in. Was able to get back on the lead lap, but just not able to recover in just so little laps. So unfortunately for him, 26, but he is definitely fast, and he'll be there next week up front as well. Vernon Reese, 27th. Dave Jones, 28th. George Fernandez, didn't really talk about him tonight, so I apologize, George. I'll get you a little bit of extra time next week. 29th. Jonah Colbert, we saw him running up towards the front, getting into the wall, and his night was over. He finished 30th. Sean Stevens finished 31st, and Cindy Taylor with a 32nd finish. Definitely expect to see her rebound next week. So, man, I gotta tell you, my voice is about to be gone. Very, very good race. Man, I'm so proud of the guys in this field for putting on a good show, making it interesting, and congratulations again to Ronnie Osborne for dominating yet another race. So. Next week, we hit Atlanta. Is somebody going to be able to take the crown away from Ronnie, knock him off the pedestal as we hit Atlanta for 75 laps next week? That's going to be a barn burner as Atlanta, man, what a great combination, this car and track. If you can keep guys off each other, it's going to put on a show. So definitely excited to see that next week. So come on by next Monday night if you want to race, if you're signed up for us. If you missed tonight, you see what you're missing. Come back next week and let's have some fun. So hope everybody in chat enjoyed the broadcast. Appreciate y'all being active in chat. Kevin Kinder, Ratchet Miller, Justin Lumpkin, Cindy Taylor after her accident, Mike Veith cheering on Alex, and then Mike Hasty, who was watching earlier. Man, thank y'all so much for being active in chat. It means a whole lot. It's a lot more fun when I got Kevin Kinder, Ratchet Miller to talk a little bit of trash too. I noticed y'all didn't say nothing about netcode, so I appreciate that. And we'll definitely see y'all next week. Hopefully, the next couple weeks, maybe next week, we can get Garrett Kinder back on track, and that way y'all got somebody to cheer for. So, but speaking of Garrett Kinder, William Griffith, I want to thank them, man. They decided not to race just to help race control, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate them. They mean a lot to me. They are crucial to this league. Garrett Kinder, William Griffith, both crucial. If you don't see it, you're just not seeing the work that's being done behind the scenes. These guys put a lot of effort in this league, and it means a lot to them. And tonight, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate them for doing that. All the admins uh, that do things in this league, that take care of things, and especially in this series, definitely appreciate that. So uh, the series, the Cup Series, and all the other um, series that Rebels does are off for until the first of the year. So we got just some fun races. So keep your eyes on Discord. Check on that Thunderstruck course running right now. So if you're part of that, want to be a part of it, check that out. And then yeah, with first of the year, we're gonna get all the Cup Series, ARCA, the Truck Series back going, and we'll get this train a moving. So thank y'all. Fun race. I was glad to be a part of this one. This was a blast. I'm proud of this one, and we'll see y'all next week.